Okay, folks, James McCormick here with Digging History, doing a wrap-up of today. So I did a study on an area in Point Pleasant, and I knew that there was a camp, a Civil War camp that was close to the area. And reading a lot of letters and stuff, I thought, well, I'm going to go up and I'm going to see. I think I have an idea where they may have been shooting at. And lo and behold, I get out there, and within about an hour, I found all these bullets. And they were all in one area. And believe me, there were dozens and dozens and dozens of other signals that I did not dig, just because I've got people that have never found a Civil War bullet, and I want to take them there so that they can do that. So let's just go through this. This first one I thought was really, really cool because it's just a tiny, tiny little pistol bullet. I mean, look at that thing. I'm not sure if that was a, Derringer or just a pistol, maybe a .32 caliber. It looks really, really small. So that's a good possibility. This one was cool because I found it in where I think the campsite was at. And I think this was camp lead. So I think this has been melted by a fire. And you can see part of the 3 rings and stuff that was in it. And this probably was in a cartridge. They lit the cartridge, and that way they could get their wood on fire. I want to go to this beast right here. So this right here is a Prussian bullet. You can see it's got 2 rings. Well, no, I take that back, folks. That's a 3-ringer. That's a 3-ringer, 69 caliber. So I was able to see it on the camera. But you can see the 3 rings on it now. But what I thought was interesting about that is, look at that ramrod mark on that thing. I mean, somebody really, really drove that thing home, and they fired it up there. So I always think those are cool. That's, somebody in 1863, 1864 time period, they loaded that thing, and they were loading it because they thought they were going to maybe run into the enemy. And there was a small battle in Point Pleasant, so I got to do some more figuring, but these may have been fired during the battle. I'll have to double check. Another 69 caliber 3-ring, very pronounced rings on this, and you can see the deep cavity. Now, a lot of times you'll look in these cavities, and some of the early war ones, you'll find a star in there. And this looks kind of like there may be a star in there, but because it was fired, it's very hard to tell. But that means that it came from the Washington Works. So it was some of the first ammunition that was issued during the war. And if you find those bullets, they call them star bullets, and they're kind of cool. So this one right here I found, I thought, boy, that might have been dropped, until I looked a little closer, and you can make out the ramrod mark on the top of that bullet. You can see that. So that's how I realized, hey, this is a fired bullet. This is a 58 caliber. More of a modern bullet, and there you can really see the pronounced ramrod mark there. Now, these are 2 round balls that I found, and that's not uncommon to find round balls, especially in this area, because I think this is where the 106 militia had been set up during the Battle of Point Pleasant, possibly. So finding round balls fired in that battle of 1863, 1864 would not be uncommon. And then here's another bullet that was fired and just mangled into mush. So this is a piece of a bullet, a piece of a 3-ring bullet, probably hit a rock and just shattered. This one, though, I think has a lot of character to it. That's a 3-ring bullet, and I dug this by a rock, so it's obvious that it impacted the rock. But I just want you to look at that and imagine that hitting a person's, femur. These bullets were, soft lead, and they did a lot of damage. And again, you saw this. Now, I went to another site, actually a piece of property that we own, and I've been over that site a couple of times, and went over, and lo and behold, I found several modern coins, but also found these 2, and this is kind of a little roached Mercury dime, but I think it's 19. It's in the night. It's got a 1930s date on it. I don't know exactly what it is. This one is, y'all can probably see that. I think 1941. My eyes are failing me. But those are two silver dimes that I would have, we've walked over, and I can tell you there are several good hits and stuff in that location. So I'm going to be definitely hitting that site again, because there was some, there was a store and some other things there that have been there for a while. So anyways, this is the finds for today, and not a bad day. Not a bad day. Got, walked about 5 miles today, so that's really good. That's good and healthy for you as well. And this is really exciting for me because this came from literally years of reading and studying about where all of these units were encamped at. And I've went to several places, crisscrossing around the area. And then, of course, you got to get permission to hunt on these sites. And that's difficult to do. So to be able to have all this come together is really, really cool. So that's it, folks. Thanks for watching on Digging History. Like, subscribe, and share. God bless, and have a great day.